Hi, guys. It's been one of those days. So, for those of you who have been with me for a little bit, you know that I am super consistent with posting my videos. At least I try to be. And normally they go up whatever day I'm releasing at midnight. The last video that I put up with me and the other three ladies took over 4 hours to upload. And then we went to bed because it said it was uploaded. So it's like, okay, cool. Took forever, but whatever. Uploaded. I wake up this morning, and the first thing that I do when I wake up is I check to make sure that my video posted. I go, look, it's my last video, not the newest video. Like, what's going on? Keep swiping. So finally I get to the right page and it says, oh, we couldn't process it. It's like, why couldn't you process it? You uploaded. What's the difference? Why? Yeah, apparently really slow uploads cause problems with processing. So we ran a speed test. The internet's kind of crappy today. Called the internet company. Oh, well, you have to reset all of your electronic devices. You need to reset your TV. You need to reset this. Reset this. This is insane. Every time you go to watch something or do something online, you shouldn't have to reset every single electronic in your house. Oh, we'll send something out on Monday. Okay, so what am I going to do? Try to upload again. 4 hours and 37 minutes is the estimated time to upload. I said, babe, I love you. I'll be back. I loaded all my stuff up, hopped in the car, went to Starbucks. It's 20 minutes away. And I get to Starbucks. Their internet is worse than mine. Now, it could have been that I literally just got on. You're good. I've only been here for 2 minutes. You're good. I'm just recapping why my video was late this morning. So I get to Starbucks and there's only one guy in the entire building that is on a computer. He's not even playing. He's watching something. So it's not like he's streaming and, uploading and downloading. So I did a speed test. Like literally I walked in there, set up my computer. The first thing I go to is speed test. It was worse than mine at my house. Fine. What is my hair doing, y'all? It's weird. It's weird. Anyways, so I start texting people that live locally. I'm like, do you guys know of anywhere that has decent internet? Finally, one of the other homeschooling moms has this brilliant idea. Go try the library. Of course, go try the library. So I get to the library and I walk in. I'm like, hi, I've never been here before. Can I get a library card? And can I also use the internet? I'm like, oh yeah, of course. So I sit down and do the speed test. Literally 10 times the speed at my house. Now I know where I'm going to go to upload all my videos from now on. We'll take the kids and they can sit and they can watch. And there's like a whole thing there for the kids to section so they can read books, they can chill while I upload. So hopefully we won't have these issues anymore. And then a lot of people commented saying that there was no sound. Neely actually texted me. She's like, yeah, I saw the videos up. I can't hear it. I almost turned around and went back to the library. And I texted Richard. I was on my way back. I texted Richard and I was like, go check. And he said it was fine. And then I texted another friend of mine and said, please go check. And then Neely checked again and it was good. Y'all, technology and me have this like love-hate thing. Seriously, we have this love-hate thing. So, hi. It's been one of those weeks, honestly. Drop me a comment. Tell me who's watching and where you are watching from. And I'm assuming it's probably warmer where you are. Most people will probably be warmer than where I am. It is stinking cold today, guys. I went out there and on the drive to the library, it was 8. Oh, it's 18 now. Getting up there. So I am just checking in with everything else. You can use your library card for online stuff now too. I know they just told me that. They gave me all of the all the pamphlets and everything to sign up for all the different little apps and whatnot. And I was like, oh, fantastic. 25 with wind. Oh, wind. Wind and cold makes it so much worse. Like cold sucks, but wind and cold, oh, it's terrible. Living in rural, oh yeah, you get it. During the pandemic and all the kids home during school was worse. Yeah, it was bad in California. We had, I mean, the house was about the same size as this one, but we had a giant backyard. In California, of course, the weather is much nicer, so they can go outside even in the wintertime. Yeah, it was. I know that one. For us, thank goodness school wasn't really interrupted for any of our kids when all of that fun stuff happened because they were all online, even in California. Because our school district, we were in a good neighborhood, but it was kind of like the not so great school in the good neighborhood. And there was shooting threats and stuff like that. So we chose to do the online school for the kids there too. So it was like not a big deal. Yeah, Oklahoma snow from yesterday is all melted. My son Levi lives in Kansas and he works for a construction company and they've been off for days because 7 inches of snow. There's no construction in Kansas when there's 7 inches of snow. 46 and 25 mile an hour winds in Florida. Yeah, it's a little bipolar right now. It's kind of crazy. I'm going to hop on and say hi to everybody. I turned on my fire. It's not making hot. It's like not heating up my room, but I love the ambiance of my little fire. Oh, my mic is sticking over here. So I wanted to come on and say hi to everybody. I just made the most amazing burgers. We were, oh my gosh, they were so good. LM, I don't know what your name is. So LM says, thanks to you. I just found out about 3.5 weeks ago. I bought Iodine Crisis on Audible. So our Lugol's 2% 1 week ago. I'm up to 8 drops a day in coffee. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I should give you guys an iodine update. My poor husband, he's suffering a little bit. So we got our Lugol's 20%. I'll have to bring a bottle up here so that I can show it to you guys. Snow in Georgia. Yeah, my friend lives real close on that side, and she was like, what the heck, this is not cool. So we got our bottle of 20% for the Lugol's iodine, and I started taking, I did my detox. It wasn't terrible. I just kind of felt like I had the flu and dropped it for 2 days. Did lots of salt, got lots of sleep, lots of electrolytes, was doing better. But I really, I missed the iodine. So I took the 2 days off and then I went back to it. And I started at the same spot that I was after my 2-day break, which was, I think it was like 40 milligrams, something like that. Then we got our 20%. I think the 20% is actually like 25 milligrams per drop. So I did 2 drops. Well, then one day I accidentally did 3 drops, like all 3 of them dropped in there and I'd already made my entire cup of coffee. And it was the last thing I put in there. I was like, I'm not wasting this. Not wasting it. So I drank the cup with like 75 milligrams. If I'm getting it right, I got to look. Oh, this isn't the right book. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I can look. Iodine, why you need it, why you can't live without it. Someone sent me this book, so I need to read it. There should be a table in here that tells me how many milligrams are in if they have the 20% listed. So I'll have to look at, so I'm somewhere between 50, like 60 and 75 milligrams a day. I feel fantastic. I love it. The energy that I have throughout the day has been very consistent. I am sleeping wonderfully and totally in love. My poor husband. The other night, I went to lay on his chest when we were getting ready to fall asleep, and I could not sleep. I couldn't fall asleep. His heart was racing. I was like, babe, are you worried about something? What is going on? He goes, I don't know. It's been driving me Crazy. He said all day it's been that high. So we hooked up his smartwatch to his phone. He started wearing it and then checking upwards of 130 beats a minute, resting heart rate. And I'm going, there's no way that that's from the iodine. But what are the chances? Like coincidence? I think not. So I went onto the iodine workshop on Facebook. There is a Facebook group. It's called the Iodine Workshop. And the requirement for you to post in this group is that you have to have either read Dr. Brownstein's book, this one, Iodine, or you have to have listened to or read The Iodine Crisis by Lynn Farrow before you comment. That's the requirement. So I went in there and I searched for racing heart. Sure enough, racing heart is one of the detox symptoms of bromide. And the logic behind it is that your body, because you're dumping the bromide into your blood system, your body wants to hurry up and get rid of it as fast as possible. So it ups your adrenaline and it ups your heart rate to pump everything through faster, to get it processed faster. Because I think that day or the day before the night that I heard his heart, he was urinating every hour. He had to go pee all day long. And it wasn't like he was intaking a whole lot more fluids. Like he was some, but he was just in the bathroom every hour peeing. So we were like, what is going on? That explains it. So his detox from bromide is way worse. The recommendation in the group was to go ahead and stay off of the iodine until your symptoms return to normal, and then go back to a really low dose and build up again. So that is what I think he's going to have to do. Because just like with the oxalates, he got kidney stones and I didn't. Now he's getting this pretty serious bromide detox and I didn't. So poor husband, I feel so bad for him. But today is day 7 without iodine, and his resting heart rate is down to like 109 now. So he's getting better. It was honestly a little bit scary, and we were gonna have him go to the doctor, but he's part of the VA healthcare system. They're 3 months out right now. So if we'd had to go to an emergency room, then we would have, but we knew it had to be something with either the iodine or the illness that we just had. So we were like, it's one of those two. But yeah, so do not jump up too fast with your iodine. Like, go slow. Seriously, go slow. Hi from Ohio. Woke up this morning. Yeah, okay. Would it be helpful for iodine? Would kelp be helpful for iodine, or should I buy the Lugol? So the problem with kelp is that, one, there's a lot of microplastics and microtoxins in our oceans nowadays. 2, we've had some pretty major radiation issues with Fukushima and Chernobyl, and those have poisoned the waterways. So what happens is that radiation goes in there and it actually taints the sea life. And then, of course, we've got the oil spills and then the surfactants and everything that they put into the water to clean up the oil spills. It's just more chemicals on top of chemicals. And they've actually done testing on the kelp supplements, and they're almost void of iodine. There'll be some that'll have what they say, oh, it should be about this much, but most of it doesn't have that much iodine in it. So I think it was Dr. Brownstein said, if you could eat 4 pounds of seafood every day, like sustainably caught, not farm raised, but fresh, cold water, then you'd be good. But I certainly can't afford 4 pounds of seafood every day. Not to mention, I don't eat 4 pounds of food, period, every day. So that's why I do the Lugols. There are different brands that you can get. Lugols is actually a specific formulation. So Lugols it's a certain percentage of one kind of iodine. I'm going to text my husband and have him bring me something if he gets the text, because I don't really want to take the computer along with me. Can you bring me? Ooh, no, that's not how you text. Bring me iodine bottles, please. Iodine PM bottles? Y'all, technology and me. Just saying. So I'll get the Lugols I'll get the 2% and then the 20% and I'll show them to you. But anything would be better than nothing. But you could be one of those people who needs a lot of iodine and the kelp won't give it to you. So it's completely up to you. Oh, from Canada. Hi. How are you? Does Natural Grocers carry iodine drops? I think here, I think I saw it at a Sprouts once. I think that's the only place I've ever seen it. I always get mine online. The 20% I got from it's lugalsnaturals.com. Oh, thank you. Both 2% and 20%, please. The 2%'s in the closet by the bathroom. Sorry, the 20%'s in the same place, actually. He didn't text me back, so I called him. I'm a little bit impatient. I've gotten so Lugal's Naturals carries the 20%. And a lot of people in my Mighty network ordered the 20% right around the same time that I did. And it took us weeks, like 5 weeks to get them, maybe. But I do know that over in the UK, thank you, my love. Over in the UK, they're kind of almost out of iodine. So I don't know, that could be that could kind of head this way, that people might start buying up the iodine, because I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but iodine is actually protective in case of a nuclear attack. Because what it does is they actually sell tablets online that are radiation fallout tablets, and that's actually where I first heard about iodine. But what it does is that it floods your thyroid with iodine so that the radiation can't come into your thyroid and plug it up. So that's one of the first places I ever heard about iodine. Well, apparently a lot of people are hearing about it right now because the UK, it's really hard to find iodine. So you might want to buy a bottle or two just in case the supply runs a little bit short. So here is the Lugol's Original Premium Iodine, the Lugol's. This is the 20%. Hopefully the glare isn't too bad. It might be backwards. It's probably backwards, but that's what it looks like. It's like a white label. I'm trying to see if it says how much is per drop. It's tiny. It's really, really tiny. I don't want to try to figure that out. I'll have to look at the book. But it says iodine, I think it's 21,460 micrograms, I think is what it says. It's so tiny. And then potassium is 3.54. So Lugol's is actually, this is the 2% that I get. This one I get on Amazon. There you go. Block it a little bit. It's hard to see. This one, so Lugol's is the blend. It's potassium iodide 4% and then iodine 2%. So that is what the Lugol's is a blend of several different types of iodine. That's actually really important. They talk about that in the book because certain parts of our bodies actually prefer different kinds of iodine and they help different places. So it's good to have that blend if possible. I have a higher heart rate sometimes when fasting. Interesting to hear his experience. He was not fasting. Like he was not hungry, but man, 130. I mean, I literally had to roll over. I was like, babe, what is going on? And we were getting a little bit concerned. And of course, I'm going to, ask a doctor and they're going to be like, stop taking the iodine. It's like, yeah, there's more to it than that. It's not just the iodine did this stop, because most doctors are afraid of iodine. So I did more research and I found that on the workshop. So I was really happy to find that. I forgot about iodine in my nail hair health until I saw your video, pulled mine back out since my nails seem wimpy lately. Definitely lifted my mood. Guys, like the mood enhancement and the brain fog is completely lifted with the iodine. It's really amazing to me how much it impacts me now that I think I'm still detoxing, and I think that if I were to go up again, I would absolutely detox some more, but I love it. Like I wanted to go back up to the higher one. What are they recommending you go up to? I have only tested 2 drops max. So, in Dr. Brownstein's book, Iodine: Why You Need It, Why You Can't Live Without It, this beautiful purple book, he suggests that you go up to 50 milligrams for a year. And then after a year, you drop down to 12.5. And it's more of a maintenance because the 50 helps to clear everything out, refill all of your cells. Excuse me. And then not overwhelm the system and give you enough. But in the iodine crisis, many of the people who say, their testimonials, they actually talk about the fact that they need a much higher dose to feel better. There was one guy who was up to 125 milligrams a day, and that is where he felt the best. And every time he tried to come back down off of it, he would start to experience the symptoms of whatever it was that he had gotten rid of with the iodine. So he just stayed up higher. So I think it's like people have a different carb threshold. Some people can handle a lot more carbs and than other people can, and some people literally have to be 0 carb. So I think it depends on each individual person. I feel fantastic at 75. When I'm at 50, I feel a little sluggish. And I'm like, yeah. So I like my other thing. I don't think it's 75. These are like 22. It's like 22 milligrams per drop, I want to say. So I'm taking, about 70. It's probably close to 70 of iodine every day, between 66 and 70. I feel better that way, but it's hard to tell, but I'd go up slowly and watch out for detox. Neely actually did a video the other day and she was like, yeah, no, detox is a real thing. It really is. And it's not like oxalates where it just pushes out of your body wherever it is, whether it's your eyes or if it's in your joints. This has to be processed through your kidneys and your liver. So those detoxification pathways are going to get a really good run for your money while you're doing this. And they need to be supported with extra salt. Salt helps to get rid of the bromide faster. It makes you pee more. And since it has to go through your kidneys, causing you to urinate more will help you get rid of the bromide faster. But there may be a way for, there may be people who need to go even slower, like my poor husband. How much iodine was he taking that caused his high heart rate? He was up to 40 milligrams, I think. That was it. He wasn't as high as I was. And that was too much for him. So he was really struggling with that. And I've heard there was in a interview, I think, with Dr. Brownstein, he talked about some patients being so sensitive that he literally had to start them on 1 drop of the 2% on their heel. That was the most that they could handle because their bodies were so sensitive to the iodine and so full of bromide that the detox just became insufferable. And it was literally going to be life-threatening for them. So they had to start with 1 drop on their heel and very, very, very slowly increase. For everybody, that's going to look different, and they didn't go through the exact protocol, but I would assume it's something like for a week, do 1 drop on your skin, on your heel, which is a pretty darn thick bit of skin. And then the next week, try 2 drops and see what happens and very slowly progress up to that. And then look at doing an internal dosing because they couldn't handle the internal. It was that bad. And he said that they weren't allergic to iodine, even though that's the way that the body kind of presented. It was, in fact, the bromide dumping that was too overwhelming for their system because it was really fragile. So that That's how sensitive some people can be, but I gotta tell you, if the world does go crazy and we do end up having to deal with nuclear fallout, I would rather have already kinda gone through the bromide detox and my body is more ready for higher doses of iodine because the pills that you can get for the emergency situations are 130 milligrams each. That's a lot. And you're supposed to give them to children even, like, you go all the way down to newborns, like, they tell you exactly how much of this pill to give to a newborn all the way up to adults to try to protect you from the nuclear fallout. I would rather be ready and already have gone through some of that detox and not have to worry about that. So I heard someone else talking about that. Yeah, that's kind of that's a good thing. I like that. Join the Facebook group Iodine for Beginners, and I've learned from Micah about the benefits from taking boron, so I ordered that as well, and I have, added that to the entire iodine protocol. So what have you noticed any difference taking the boron? Yes, iodine is a radiation detox. It is also detoxification for heavy metals in your body. It fights cancer, autoimmune disease, fatigue, thyroid disease, so many things. Correct, that is what iodine supplier on the site said because of the possibility of a nuclear threat. He has sold more in the last 2 weeks than in years total. He is out of tablets completely. Yeah. I do not watch the news. I do not obsess about what's going on. My husband watches and he tells me what he thinks I need to know. And one of the things he thought I needed to know was, I think maybe we should get some iodine. And I said, okay, we have some. And he said, no more. And I said, okay, why? And then he's like, "Well, things are kinda getting crazy." And I said, "Okay, let's get the iodine." He goes, "Yeah, I already ordered it." I was like, "Oh, good. I'm glad because I'd rather have it and not need it than not have it and need it." What symptoms have the iodine protocol helped to relieve? So for me, it cleared out the cobwebs in my brain. I was having a hard time even putting a full sentence together and using my big girl words. And my sleep has improved and not improved all at the same time. I'm feeling a lot more rested and, uh, yes, I'm feeling a lot more rested when I do sleep, but I think my thyroid is refiguring out how to function properly, and this is what a lot of people have said, and Dr. Brownstein talks about it, Lynn Farrow talks about the fact that when you begin taking the iodine, you will begin to look like you have, hypothyroidism because your numbers go all wonky, just like when we first start keto or carnivore, generally our blood markers go berserk. Like they go crazy. So that is one of the things that does happen. So I think what's happening is that my thyroid is kind of flexing its muscle basically because I will get superheated hot in the middle of the night and I'm not sweating, but I will wake up because I am so hot. So I'll uncover and then I slowly cool down and I will touch my skin and I feel like I have a fever. And then I will cool down and then I'll put the blankets back on one at a time and then I'll get too hot again and I'll have to take them off again. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it. Part of it could also be the bromide in the bedding. I wonder if that is exacerbating it because most of the time I'm fine temperature-wise throughout the day, but at night it's been really weird. So I think that that's part of it and I believe that it will settle out. My hair is not falling out anymore. And I used to get handfuls of hair in the shower and the drain would be completely covered. Chip off the top too far, but they're way stronger. My skin, a lot of people have dry skin and then it's fixed. This, by the way, just so you guys know, is the avocado mayonnaise that I had on my burger. And I'm okay with that because I wanted mayonnaise on my burger and I didn't have any coconut oil mayonnaise. So that's what that is, just in case you all were wondering. But for many people, the symptoms that are relieved, they go through so many acne, asthma, thyroid problems, including goiter and thyroid nodules, cancer anywhere on the body. Some people will actually drop the iodine right around where the cancer is, and it will help to draw it out and help to detox it that way. It helps with, there's just so much. There's so many things that iodine helps with. And for everybody, it's different. For some people, they will experience, like, even some people are reversing their type 2 diabetes with the iodine alone. So that tells me that it has something to do with the iodine receptor, probably has something to do with the insulin receptor as well. Because if the iodine receptor is either atrophied or if it's plugged up with bromine, that must be inhibiting the insulin receptor, because the whole concept behind reversing, healing, curing, whatever, type 2 diabetes is that your insulin receptors work properly and you are not poisoning yourself with carbs. But these people are still poisoning themselves with carbs, but all of a sudden their receptors work better and they don't have diabetes anymore. So it's fascinating. And I know that there must be more to it. So there's that. It helps with ADHD for a lot of people, mood stabilization. There's so many things that the iodine seems to help. Began taking 12.5 milligram tablets for about 3 weeks ago. Prior, my hair was shedding like crazy. However, today I only I tried the carbs for the hair because I was told, oh, if your hair is falling out that much, obviously your body needs carbs. I tried the carbs. That was a fail and a half. I did the experiment, so you don't have to. No, it was terrible. I am up on my iodine. My blood sugar has dropped, and I am a type 2 diabetic. That is so cool. Like, I want to know the physiological reason for that. I want to know. So it's got to be something with the iodine receptor helps the insulin receptor to work better. Like, it's so cool. I want to understand it. Good plant. Okay, Dr. Anthony Chaffee says plants are toxic. Many plants are very, very toxic. I'm going plant and sweetener free to see if it makes a difference. Yeah, that is a very good idea. I think everybody, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me, I think everybody should try 30 days of carnivore. And the reason I say that is because it's an elimination diet. It is the most complete elimination diet out there. And then when you do that, you go carnivore. And if you can do it dairy-free, fantastic. If you can't do it dairy-free, one step at a time. It's fine. But going carnivore puts you on animal products alone, which are less inflammatory in most cases than plants are. So you get rid of all of the plants. You can do that for 30, 60, 90 days, and then bring things back in one at a time to see what works for you and what doesn't. It's incredible when you do these elimination diets to find out exactly what your body thrives on and the best way for you, because everybody is so different. I think I missed your bromide info. What are the symptoms of bromide toxicity? So in the book, they talk about bromide overdose. Here, I'm just gonna Google it because they have actual definitions. There we go. And if you go to like the ER and they test you for bromide and they can see that you are seriously overdosed, then they have a whole protocol. Bromide poisoning is just, okay, so what Google says is eye redness, nose and throat irritation, cough, irritation in your mucous membranes. Sometimes you're dizzy, watery eyes. It's kind of general. And so what the concept is with the bromide and the iodine is that bromide actually, it's like carbs and vitamin C. We have vitamin C receptors in our body. And the vitamin C molecule is shaped very similarly to a carbohydrate. So when we eat a lot of carbohydrates, those flood our system, and the vitamin C has a really hard time getting to its receptors because they're all full of carbs, which is why when you are consuming carbs, you need more vitamin C to prevent getting scurvy and things like that, because the carbs and the vitamin C compete. Well, it's the same thing with iodine and bromine or bromide. They're very similarly shaped. And the bromide actually plugs up your iodine receptors. Well, every single cell in our body has a sodium iodine receptor. And so your entire body, trillions of cells, are full of bromide now. Now they're stored and they're plugging up these receptors. So they're not just freely floating, but they're latched onto a cell. So bromide is the fire retardant that is sprayed on your mattress, on your carpet, on your upholstery, in your car. It is in your kids' sleepwear. It's also added to flour. It is an agent that's supposed to help the bread rise better and make it softer. What's funny is that they used to use iodine, and then they decided that it would be more beneficial for people to eat less iodine because it makes medical scans work better. So they removed it from bread and put bromide in its place. So bromide is also found in like Mountain Dew or any food that has BVO, brominated vegetable oil. It's also found in almost all inhalers and in pool chlorine. So your chlorinated pool, when you do the chlorine tablets or the chlorine powder, if you look at the little test strips for testing your chlorine, next to it, usually there's a bromine or a bromide indicator as well. So it's literally everywhere. And some people can handle more of it, but it definitely causes a lot of issues in our bodies. It is a toxin. So if you go to the doctor and you're having a bromide toxicity episode, they will test you. They'll say, yeah, your bromide's off the chart. They will salt it out of you because they know that it is dangerous. However, it's also used to combat Agent Orange poisoning in individuals. So it's a poison, countering a poison, replacing something that is actually helpful to you. Hey, when I start taking, hi, Michelle. When I start taking Lugol's 2%, 3 drops. After a while, I get anxiety, like a thing in my throat that could lead to a panic attack. I know that feeling. I so know that feeling. So I got off for a couple months. Very weird. Honestly, okay, so that's where your thyroid is. And that is going to be one of the first places that clears out of the bromide. And depending on how much bromine and bromide you have in your system, how much you're exposed to every single day, how much your cells like to hang on to it, that depends on how bad your detox is going to go. So that I would truly believe is 100% the detox, because your thyroid is right here. And I know exactly that feeling, that anxiety. And it really is. It's in your throat. Sometimes it's a little bit down lower, but it can be up here. Yes. No, I bet you anything that was your detox, and that was the beginning of your detox. So going off of it would be the best thing. Backing off of it, salting a little bit more heavily. For you, I would recommend doing the companion nutrients. And for most people, I say you don't really need the companion nutrients because of the way that we eat. But for some people, like I had to go back to the magnesium. I was completely off of magnesium for leg cramps. And when I started the iodine, my leg cramps came back. So I started taking the magnesium. I have not added in vitamin C. I have not added in selenium. I have not added in boron. Someone else suggested boron. I have not done any of that. I think just like everyone else in this space, for some people, even if we eat healthy, or especially, you're going to need the companion nutrients too. So Dr. Brownstein recommends the companion nutrients for 2 weeks before you even start the iodine. He usually takes his clients right to 50 milligrams, but Lynn Farrow said she's seen a lot of not so good stuff with that. So they have to go very, very slowly. The Iodine Workshop on Facebook goes over that. They have a lot of education in there. So if you wanted to learn more about the proper way to start slowly, that would be the place to go and look. Yeah. So I would say that that's what it is, because if it's a mood stabilizer, when you are going through the detox, the bromide would probably unstabilize your mood. And when you detox, you know, it's funny, Barbara, I actually had to approve your comment. It hit it for me to look at it to make sure that yes, you can say, yes, you have to pee when you detox. Let me see. Same. I do not watch any news. We don't even have cable or satellite. I learned about the iodine selling like crazy from a Facebook group, Iodine for Beginners. Yeah. I don't want to fear monger. I'm not telling people to hoard everything, but I'm saying things are getting a little weird and being prepared. I would rather have it and not need it because I will 100% use this. Whether it lasts me for the rest of my life or if I need to use a lot more of it sooner. It will get used up because it's going to stay good forever. I'm not saying go out and buy, tons and tons and tons of fruit and vegetables that are going to go bad in a few days. I would never say that anyways, but be smart about your purchases, be intentional, and just be prepared for some of the more likely eventualities because right now things are going a little bit crazy. Are you sure the sweats at night isn't premenopause? I had night sweats and had hair loss during menopause. I don't know. I am 41. I have had pretty regular cycles. I know that if you have too many early cycles in your life that you will start menopause sooner because you only have so many eggs before you run out. I do not have a uterus anymore. I do not track my cycles. And I probably should start doing that. I need to figure that out. I do have my ovaries, but I do not have a uterus. So I do not have a monthly cycle at all. I do not bleed at all because I have no oven anymore. I did wonder about that, but I really think that it's probably the iodine, but I've been thinking about trying to track that. Let me see. I'm way past menopause and had the night sweats as well. Yeah, the coincidences. I don't really like coincidences, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't a coincidence. Okay, so apparently you need to go away. Wow, I got my first troll. I wasn't even paying attention. Big butter mayonnaise. I tried butter mayonnaise. It just tasted like butter. I was like, I couldn't taste the difference. It was really sad. Do you think it's okay to have mustard on meat? 100%. Because unless you are very sensitive to the mustard, it is a seed and it is a plant. Yes. But for most people, mustard is one of the least inflammatory things that they add to their food. And for me, I tried going full in 100% all carnivore with nothing else, no spices, no sauces, nothing. I did that for 3 months and I really screwed myself up because I got to the point where I did not want to eat anything because it was literally gagging me. I am a big promoter of keep your sauces, make them as keto as possible, and most mustard is a-okay. It's fantastic. Keep your sauces. If you need to keep your sauces to keep the variety in your life, to keep your meat happy, do that. I am all good with mustard, and Dr. Berry has a really amazing dip. It's mustard, apple cider vinegar, egg yolks, raw egg yolks. And then it seems like there's something else, probably Redmond salt, and he mixes that together and he dips all of his meat into that, and he said it's incredible. I don't like mustard. I like mustard on my ribs, and that is it. But I'm totally good with you having mustard. My volume is messed up. That is so sad. Hopefully it gets better, or I can plug in my thing if I need to. Does iodine help with mold toxicity? Yes, it can help with mold toxicity. All detoxification. It can help tremendously, but you have to be so careful with the mold toxicity because it will overwhelm your system. So you have got to go super slow when you are detoxing from mold. Very, very, very slow. And you absolutely would need to take companion nutrients and probably something else on that level when you're doing that. I would like to start the iodine. It does scare me a little. I'm very sensitive to meds in general. Yeah, be careful. Afraid of the detox part. I need to get the iodine book and learn more about taking iodine. My favorite book, The Iodine Crisis by Lynn Farrow. I need to link it down. Should be down below in the show notes in the description for this live once it's over. My Amazon storefront should be in there. There is an entire list that is nothing but iodine. And it is this book. This is the more technical book. This is the one that's going to be a little bit wordier. And she said that they kind of repeat a lot. People that have read this have said that. The Iodine Crisis is the other one that I highly, highly recommend that you listen to before you start anything. It's very important. There are also doctors who do understand this and can help you with this. They are called iodine literate doctors. They are the ones that know how to test and how to dose you properly. Will test, interpret those tests, and then dose you properly. So if you are someone who's very worried about that or the mold toxicity, then I would look at finding an iodine literate doctor if that is in your purview to do. I think we all have slightly different ancestral past. Maybe people whose ancestors ate more seafood need more iodine. Y'all, I seriously, ancestral keto coach, I agree with you. I really do. I think that there is something to the DNA testing. I have not done it. I don't plan on doing it. I did consider it for a while. I know that most of my family came from Germany. My former last name, my maiden name, was actually a town in Germany, which the border moved, so now I think it's in France, but, I'm very, very German. Well, if you look at where Germany is, you can imagine what we would have eaten hundreds or thousands of years ago, and it's not a whole lot of plants. I truly believe that people's DNA and your past of where you came from has something to do with it. 100%. Well, yes, I noticed that my throat was swollen for a couple of days, about 2 days in, but it cleared up shortly. It's the iodine? I really think so. I have thyroid issues, a lot of nodules, so then iodine would be extremely helpful for you. That is one of the main things that iodine actually helps to clear up is the thyroid nodules. It brings thyroid health. Even if you've had your thyroid removed, you still need iodine. Dr. Brownstein says frequently his patients will say, "Well, now that I lost my thyroid, do I still have to take iodine?" And he's like, "Do you have skin? Because that needs it too." And you can either carry around the bromide with you and your receptors, or you can replace it with something that's actually good for you, which is the iodine. So that would probably have a major impact on your nodules if you started taking the iodine, but go slow, be careful, watch out for detox. I thank you for answering that, but I also have Hashis and hypo. Yes. I was too late with healthy eating. Yeah. Yeah. There's some damage that cannot be undone. And if parts of your thyroid have literally died because of Hashis or because of hypo, you can't bring it back to life. It's like frostbite. You lose that part. It will never grow back. It will never come back to life. There's some parts that will never come back. And so moving forward, you do the best that you can. If that means you have to have something removed, a little fingertip that got frostbite, but you can still keep your finger for the most part. Swollen goiter is common with taking iodine, which is funny. That's actually, yeah, it's part of the detox process is actually a good thing. But yes, goiter, they did tests to prove that iodine causes goiter. But what they didn't do was actually test the subjects at the end of the test. They literally just said, we want it to say what we want it to say, so we're going to do this. And that is when 3 generations of doctors began being taught that iodine is dangerous and it causes thyroid problems. Not heal it, but causes it. Much like all of our doctors think that fat is bad for us and that is actually what is going to give us a heart attack and going to kill us because our LDL is high, and it must be because of the fat, which we know in this low carb space is completely untrue. Sugar is, in fact, the culprit and what needs to be blamed, but no doctor understands that on that level. Very, very few doctors are okay with keto or carnivore because of their education. And they're mostly well meaning people. They're believing what their education was. I mean, when you pay $100,000 for an education, you're going to listen to what your education tells you. And I love Dave Feldman talks about one of his interactions with one of his doctors. And because Dave Feldman is the cholesterol code guy, he's like one of the cholesterol gurus. And he's talking about this time where he went and he was talking to one of his doctor friends, kind of showing him that LDL is not dangerous, but statins are. And the doctor was like, I got to tell you, I hope you're wrong. Like, I really, really hope that you're wrong, because if you're right, then I have been bringing harm to my patients for the past 20 years by prescribing statins to them for no reason. That's a really hard thing to wrap your head around. So doctors, just like Dr. Berry, was always, he was like, yeah, eat less, move more, eat healthy, heart healthy grains, and you'll be good. He said the same thing, and he says it all the time. We got to do better. Like, the best we can do is learn better. So I recommend anybody who has a doctor who is not low carb or keto okay, buy them Dr. Berry's book, give them that book. It's called Lies My Doctor Told Me. I need to bring it upstairs. It's downstairs. I need to bring it up here. But Lies My Doctor Told Me is an excellent book. And any doctor who sees that book is going to go, excuse me? And they're going to take it personal, and then they're going to read it. Versus, medical misinformation, they'd be like, oh, whatever, a dime a dozen. So that's why he made the title a little bit catchy. But seriously, worth the read, worth gifting to your doctor or other people in your family who might need it, because if they're wrong about the carbs, they could be wrong about other things, and iodine happens to be one of those things. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Sorry, missed your mention of what the name of the book was. Okay. The Iodine Crisis. It is a black book, and it has like a white shattered bottle on the front of it. Looks like a salt bottle, like one of the little salt shakers at a restaurant, and it's shattered. So that is the Iodine Crisis, and Lynn Farrow is the author, or Iodine, Why You Need It, Why You Can't Live Without It, Dr. Brownstein. Iodine Crisis is easier. It's easier to handle. It's easier to understand. Hi, Allie. Sorry. I'm catching up. Sorry, I missed your mention. Yes. Okay. The Iodine Crisis. Thank you for answering that. You totally don't look 41. Thank you. Yeah, I am. And I'm a grandma at 41 too. Seriously. Need to look into that and speak with your doctor. Yes. I think iodine is the next thing we need to start educating our doctors about. But what's cool is that there is actually continuing education for doctors to be able to learn about iodine. And Dr. Brownstein travels around the country trying to educate doctors about the importance of iodine and the fact that it is not killing people. Actually, it's saving people. I avoid the DNA test because I don't want to know what they do with the info. Nope. Enough said. I'm with you. I'm not going to do it. Nope. Is it more like 500,000? It's seriously, I should have said hundreds of thousands of dollars, but yeah, it's a bit much. And you don't want to put that kind of money into your education to be told by your patients, yeah, you're wrong. Love you, but no. It's hard. My doctor is keto and talked to me about becoming keto. That is so awesome. You are so blessed. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We have had, I don't have it right now. I might go back to it though. Steady MD is a concierge online doctor that you can get, and it's for an individual adult, it's $99 a month, or for a couple, I think it's like $169 a month. The prices might have gone up. I don't know. And then they'll see your kids, but they won't be your kids as primary. We actually got Blueberry Pediatrics for Bella because we're in between insurances right now, but we wanted her to have something. So we got Blueberry Pediatrics for Bella. That one's only $18 a month. And that covers all of the kids in the house. And they will see your children via teleconference where you can see the doctor. And then they send you, I need to call them and be like, hey, I'm talking about your product. You should give me a code for my people if they do that. They send you stuff. I had no intention of doing this right now, but I'm going to do this. So they send you a pulse oximeter and of course, just standard thermometer, and then the smart otoscope. This thing is cool. I'm getting it out. Need to. So here is the little smart otoscope. So you'll connect this to your computer, and then it's got all the little caps and charging cords and stuff like that to look into ears and nose in the back of the throat, and it transmits to the computer so that the doctor can see exactly what you are seeing. So isn't that cool? So for $19 a month, that's what it is for Blueberry Pediatrics. I think that they have a referral program. I just don't know how it works. I got to figure that out. But that we signed her up for that because I wanted her to have something. Oh, so anyway, Study MD, back to Study MD. There are doctors in Study MD who are pro keto or pro carnivore or are not opposed to either one of those. I actually had one of them. His name was Dr. Nick. I'm not going to say his last name. I'm not even going to try because I'm going to butcher it. He's from Zimbabwe. There's no way I'm getting that name right. So he actually was pro keto, and he had not ever really had a patient that did carnivore before. And when I had him, I was carnivore. So got to talk to him, and he was super excited when he got all my blood results back. My tests for my cholesterol, my LDL was 267, and my HDL was 89. My trigs were 40 something, and he was ecstatic. When he saw my LDL, he was like, "You don't ever get sick, do you?" I was like, "No, I don't." It's awesome. Yeah, so if you can find a keto doctor, fantastic. If you can afford the $100 a month for the online concierge doctor, for some people, it's gonna be it's worth it. For some people, it's absolutely worth it. Yeah, some are excellent, some are not. Yeah, some are dumb as rocks. Send the book to the doctor's office anonymously, right? Just go like set it in the waiting room. Like take some stuff in with you when you go in, put your stuff down, and then forget it there in the waiting room so that all the patients are starting to read lies my doctor told me. I mean, how epic would that be? That is like next level ninja right there. No profit in the cure. I completely agree. I gifted Dr. Barry's book to my 82-year-old dad, and he's now keto. Oh, I love that. I know when Dr. Barry publicly apologized for past, like it really affects the doctors that have changed, the doctors that now know better, the guilt that they had to get through for all the bad advice that they were giving because they were parroting what they had been told. So those are the good doctors, the people that we will continue to support and love. And I'm a Patreon of Dr. Barry's, love them, and will continue to support them as long as I possibly can because I love them both. Let me see. My doctor is vegan. Oh, that's fun. I'm sorry. However, my A1C dropped from 8.1 to 5.9. Oh, that's nice. And I lost 40 pounds. He said, just keep up the good work. Good job. That's awesome. I love that, Lana. My doctor released me from his practice because he said keto would kill me. He could no longer support me as a doctor. Okay. You should go back in like 20 years. Hi. Still kicking. How you doing? Yeah. Found it on Amazon and ordered. Awesome. My niece is in medical school. Oh, yeah. Waiting for her to be practicing to give her lies my doctor told me. Dr. Barry said it would lead to problems during school and residency. Yes, it will. Okay, so the stuff that I know now, I tried. I tried going to school to become a nutritionist or a dietitian. I tried. I could not take the brainwashing. I couldn't do it. And to a point, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna give them the answer that they want. I'm just gonna tell them what they want and just get through it and not deal with it. But I couldn't. Like, I'm watching all the rest of the 50 other people in the class that are being brainwashed, and they're believing what they're being told, and I could not keep my mouth shut. I was like, So all the time my hand was up, and I was constantly like questioning it. Well, actually, I hate to say this, but now I passed the class with like a 92% and or 98%. I don't know. It was one of the two. It was a really high score. It was good. But I couldn't do it. I could not sit in these rooms anymore for the brainwashing because even the biology, they were talking about your essential carbs. There's no such thing as an essential carb. And when I brought that up, the teacher got really upset. So I couldn't do it. And I was like, okay, now it's certifications through keto people or carnivore people. I have 2 certifications, and then I just have to take another test. Well, I already took the test, now I just have to submit something, and then I would be a Rivero coach, and I have all these certifications. I do it for the education. That is what I want because I can't, I couldn't do it. So yes, do wait. And then the other thing to do, gift her the book. Lies My Doctor Told Me. And then also, most new doctors are looking for CMEs, is continuing medical education. Dietdoctor.com has an entire CME course and it is certified. So if you tell her about that and say, hey, here's some CMEs that you can follow up with, and it talks about the ketogenic lifestyle and low carb and how helpful it can be for all of their patients in all these different ways. So that is another way you can also get to your doctor is you can ask them, "Hey, are you ever looking for CMEs because I found out about this one and I thought of you." Which is true because you're like, "Hey, yo, dummy, you need to learn this stuff. I love you, but open your eyes." So the CME from dietdoctor.com can be a fabulous tool if you have a doctor who is willing to do the course. I've offered it to some of the people in my life, and the response was, "Oh, no, I can find my own real stuff, but thanks." You are very welcome. I will back off and leave it be. Yeah, so just wait. A neat telemedicine tool. Isn't it cool? I love it. It was so cool. Sounds like a blessing in disguise. Probably knew you wouldn't be profitable as a client. Knew you were not profitable as a client. You need to get that kit for my great. Yes, so Blueberry Pediatrics. If it's backwards, I'm sorry. But it's Blueberry Pediatrics, and they have an app. And then doctors, and $18 a month covers all, or it's like $18.99 a month, covers all of the kids in your house. So, and that is, they have an ear infection at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you don't want to have to go to the ER or to urgent care. You can get on there, you can message the doctor, you can show them, and they will put in the script, and then you can go and get it. So, very, very, very helpful. We used to use SteadyMD for it, but that required $100 per child. That I absolutely could not afford. The $18 a month per child for the whole family, that I can afford. So yes, Blueberry Pediatrics. Oh, thank you very much. I love all you guys too. Like seriously, I can't even begin to tell you how grateful I am for all of you, and you guys are the reason that we do this. Go leave the book in the waiting room. It'll be so much fun. My best friend's new kidney doctor diagnosed with kidney damage from chronic stones. Ooh, knows Sally Norton's work. Ooh, nice. That is awesome. Found out she was shocked with how much more she knew about nutrition and alternative medicine. That is amazing. Like, find these doctors and support them. Give them a keto charcuterie board for Christmas. I mean, something like hang on to these people. Patreon for Dr. Berry too. I just ordered my 4A1C kits to check it all at home. Ooh, that is one thing I have not done. I can't afford it right now. I'll work on that. Currently 5.8 after years of keto. Excellent. Very, very good work. Give her a strict list of all foods, all plants she can no longer eat. Has her on prescription potassium to keep decroveling her before stones can form. Yeah, there is a potential to help it. Absolutely. And I have heard of people who have gone keto or carnivore and not completely gotten rid of their kidney damage, but it has reversed down a step or even two. So I've heard of some people who have had stage 3 and they've gotten it down to stage 1 with super clean carnivore or very meat heavy keto. They've been able to do that. So it's absolutely worth it. And then Dr. Jason Fung is a nephrologist. So he is a kidney doctor. So if ever that's what I want to do. I want to compile a list of every kind of doctor. And I want to find a keto or a carnivore pro doctor in that space so that if you're at an ENT, ear, nose, and throat doctor, you can say, oh, well, here's this one keto doctor that's ear, nose, and throat. Because then they speak the same language. So if there's a nephrologist that supports keto or carnivore, then you can be like, here, look at this person. They're not crazy. They are a certified MD or whoever they are. Totally. That is a goal of mine. I didn't realize you were live. I'm live. Hi, Lindsay. How you doing? Yeah, I couldn't hear either. Okay, so I think YouTube's a little mad at me right now. I don't know why. I don't know what I did. But when I posted my video earlier, a bunch of people commented that they couldn't hear it. But then when we checked, we could hear it. And so, because Neely texted me, she was like, oh my gosh, I can't hear it. So, and then if my sound was messed up just now, YouTube might be mad at me. I don't know what I did. I didn't say anything. I don't think I did. Probably did. I'm glad you can hear me now. Fell off the wagon. Oh, I was doing very well with my PSMF protocol. Overdid it though. Yep. Then triggered horrible sugar and carb cravings. How do you bounce back after binging on carbs? First of all, you don't beat yourself up because life happens. And the mistakes that we make, they happened and you move on. They're over and done with. You do not sit and wallow. You just, hi, Margie. You just move on with it. You go, okay, you don't even have to wait until tomorrow to get back on the wagon. You can start at your next meal. Now, with that being said, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to eat your favorite keto things or your favorite carnivore things, depending on how you are. If you were triggered by PSMF, I would say do not do that for right now. I want you to go back to just eating keto. And one of the problems with PSMF is that people sometimes push it too far and it will cause you to fall off and it will trigger you. If that is the case, I would rather you stick with regular keto and hold off on the PSMF for right now, because what's most important is that you are getting nourished properly. Because when you fall off the wagon like that, it's because you are lacking. You are craving because you're missing something. For me, PSMF, I did it for like a minute. It was not long at all because my mental state started to plummet. I have to have the higher fat. And I got to a point where my health and my mental state was more important than the number on the scale or what size pants I was wearing. That had to become more important. My interaction with my children had to be more important to me than what the number on the scale was or what size pants I was wearing. Because when we restrict, whether it's restricting fat or it's restricting carbs, for some people, there's trauma in your background that you have to deal with to be able to fully recover. Dr. Robert Siwez, he is the carb addiction doc, and he is kind of one of those outside the box thinkers. I don't agree with 100% of everything that he says, but for some people, like he says, you know, if you want to keep a diet soda, keep a diet soda. For some people, if that's what you have to do to stay on track with everything else, then that is definitely the lesser of all of the evils. Everybody is different. We have all lived through different things. We can all handle different things and we all need different things. Some of us need the high fat. Hi. And then Neely and Lindsay on my video, the last one I put out, they both do super good on high protein. When I am high protein, I am a hot mess. Like it's bad. So you have to be careful and you have to figure out where you fit. If you overdo something and it triggers you to fall off like that, don't do that again. You need to be very intentional about taking care of yourself. So just start eating your very, very favorite keto things or your very favorite carnivore things, even if they aren't optimal for you. If you really want pepperoni and cheese, eat pepperoni and cheese or salami and cheese for lunch. Is it the cleanest? No. But is it better than the carbs that you fell off to? Yeah. If you want bologna, if you want hot dogs, all totally fine. For keto, you can go back to the keto treats. I would rather you have the keto treats than the standard American diet treats. Slowly work your way back down off of those. But don't push it too fast. That's generally what happens is that we push too far, the rubber band snaps, and it's all over. And then you got to start over again. So do not beat yourself up over that because we all do it. We all struggle with different things. It happens. What matters is how you move forward from here and be intentional about it. Just eat your favorite foods that live in your space. whether you're keto or whether you're carnivore, eat your favorite foods until you are fully satiated. And then you can try to, do it again. But I would be really careful with not overdoing the PSMF. And the thing with that is that it depends on how much you have to lose. If you have 10 more pounds to lose, PSMF is not a good idea. And it's really not recommended. Even Maria does not recommend it when you're getting down there to the last little bit, because you don't have enough on your body to pull from. And it will cause your metabolism to screw up. It will mess with your hormones. There's a whole lot of stuff that it does. So now I've trained in PSMF. I am certified to teach people how to do that. It is a tool that can be used in certain circumstances for good reasons, but it's not something that I recommend very often. I need to know the person. I need to know what that person is doing and what they need in their life right then, because I think that there's a criteria that needs to be met. So I did the PSMF videos. I did some of that stuff. I use the bread all the time, but y'all, I slather it with butter. Like I love, Lindsay says this, when you bite the PSMF bread, if you cannot see the teeth marks in the butter, that wasn't enough butter. I make sure that I put enough butter on my PSMF bread. I use it because it's so much better than almond flour or any of the other options, but I add fat to it because I need the fat for my mental state. My well-being, my relationship with my family is more important than what size I wear. So do not beat yourself up. We love you. We all do it. Everyone goes through it. Start new and just head that way. Doctors seem to be on board with a low carb until they see the labs, especially if the cholesterol, then they don't support it. That is what's so cool about the Diet Doctor CME. I think it talks about the cholesterol and the fact that LDL is not the main part of heart disease in the interpretation of the cholesterol numbers. The Framingham study itself proves that. And I showed this the other day. I don't remember where it was. I think it was in my Mighty Network. But there's a graphic that Dr. Brett Scher teaches on, and it is showing the LDL of 100 or over 220 is no more dangerous as long as your HDL is high, like 86 or above. If your HDL is low, then the high LDL is very dangerous. And you have like a 3 times more chance of having a heart attack if your LDL is high and your HDL is low. So your HDL is actually what's more important. I wish that I could share my screen with you, and I can't. It's really frustrating. But so the Framingham study is pretty clear that HDL and trigs are the ones that are more important than LDL. So educating your doctor on that one is fun, but it is possible. It's okay, Lindsay. You can watch the replay. I just kind of rambled on about my love-hate relationship with technology in the beginning. And a lot about iodine. Oh, yeah, you should watch it. Yeah, iodine. You should go watch it. I cannot believe how much fun we had making that video with Lindsay and Janet and Neely. It was so much fun. Honestly, Lindsay, we should do it. We should do it live. I edited out one tiny thing, and that's because I pointed to the wrong side of the screen. That was the whole thing. That was the whole problem, is that I pointed to the wrong side of the screen. That's the only thing I edited out of everything. And then you all got to see the bloopers. Everybody loved that video. So maybe we'll do it live sometime. That would be fun. Okay, we have 8 kids here, so $18 per month. It would definitely get us. Yes, it would. $18 a month. I think I do have a way to. Oh, I have my phone. I should look. I think that I might have a code for people, like if I refer people. So I'll look, and then I'll put it down below in the description of this replay, so that share my link. Yes, there's a share my link. There we go. Okay. I will copy it. Maybe I will copy it. I'll try to copy it. It won't let me copy it. I'll figure out how to copy it, and then I will put it down below. So, yeah, I love going live. Lives are so much fun. Y'all, it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I should get off, but people keep getting on, so I don't want to stop talking, and I haven't gotten to everything over here either. And I'm okay right now. The girls are over at a friend's house. Noah is having daddy time, so I'm kind of just staying back and letting them have their stuff. Couldn't see anything, and the time of the video said 00. Telling you, YouTube is grumpy at me right now, and I don't know what's going on. Telling the truth on pretty much any subject makes YouTube mad at you. Yeah. What can I say? Yep, PSMF can absolutely cause issues, Margie. For some people. Now, I'm not saying like the PSMF bread, if you have an egg white allergy or sensitivity, then yeah, it's going to kind of cause you issues. But just eat lots of fat with it. I like the egg white bread. Also adds whole egg powder, but I don't think I lower my fat. I don't know. I've been talking lately a lot about making sure that you're eating enough, eating to as many calories as you should be eating. But I know some people that just for kicks and giggles were like, I'm going to track. I want to see if I'm eating enough. And then they found out that they were eating 2 times more than they should be eating. And they were like, oh, that's why it's not working. It's like, yeah. So sometimes for some people, eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full does not work. For me, it does not work because I will stop before 1,000 calories every single day. And that's not good. That's not enough for my body to function properly. It's not enough for my hormones. It's not enough for turnover. It's not enough for anything. And then there are the people who have no cutoff because they have had a lifetime of yo-yo dieting and their body is starving and their body will continue to tell them to eat and eat and eat. And they're upwards of 5,000 calories and they didn't know. So I think everyone should try to track a little bit just to see where you are because it can be a really good tool just to see where you are. You don't have to do it continually, but do it once in a while here and there to make sure that you're on track and then adjust and you know what you need to do. I found I would only have cravings if I wasn't eating enough fats. Yeah. Bacon is still my favorite snack. Eat the bacon. For a long time, I didn't know that carbs were a problem. I was only cutting back on sugar, and it wasn't enough. I solved the mystery after I quit the vegan diet. Yeah, the way I explain it to like my kids, they're like, well, this doesn't have any sugar. It says no added sugar. I was like, yeah, but did you know that carbs is actually sugar too? They look and I said, yeah, when carbs go into your tummy, it breaks it up. And there's glucose and there's fructose and there's lactose. I was like, it's all sugar. Your body can't tell the difference where it came from, if it was from table sugar or if it was from the grapes that you ate. I said, it breaks down the same. It all looks the same. And when you explain that, and you ask the doctor, how does my body know the difference between the pasta that I'm eating versus the donut? It doesn't. It's the same thing. It all breaks down. You think, oh, the donut's so much more sugar. Pasta's got just as much sugar in it. When it breaks down on a cellular level, you've got all these different components and they are all a form of sugar. Oops. We've all been there. We all thought we were safe. We did at one point in time. We were like, no, I'm good. I'm only eating. Guess what? Yeah. Thank you for talking about PSMF. Can be very triggering for some. Yep. 100% it can be. You got to know you. Bread is a vehicle for the butter. Yeah, I love Lindsay. I don't know how I haven't found you before now because you feel like a sister, like really. Okay, I'm going to finish up, guys, I swear. After 4.5 years carnivore, I don't think about changing how I eat anymore. I just don't have the old habits anymore or the weight or the sad health problems. So true. Indigestion, eczema, stomach, everything. For me, it's literally a way of life. I can't even imagine having to go back to anything else. I really can't, and I really don't want to. So I am 100% with you. I am very happy to just be where I am. I mean, I consider myself a ketovore. I'm between keto and carnivore. I live in the realm between. I am very meat heavy and animal fat heavy. I do have, my burger. I'll try to show you guys my burger. I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not. If the glare is going to be too funny. I took a little bit of woo! That was cute. That was oh wow, that is sad. I took a picture of this, of my burger, and apparently the only part that it caught was the very, very, very end of it. Wow, that is sad. So that was my burger. It's very, very blurry. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It was on a Hawaiian sweet roll bun. It had a piece of lettuce on it and banana pepperoncinis. So good. Could also be what this is. And I'm okay with that because it was fantastic. The intuitive eating concepts are hard when you have to get assertive with yourself and ask mental hunger or physical hunger. Yes, your scale of 1 to 10 hunger. Where are you? Are you a 7? It's probably physical. Are you a 3? All in your mind, baby. It's tough. We just talked on IG about permahealth products, and I just found you here on YouTube. Hi. Yeah. The Perma Earth. Oh my gosh. So, a lot of people ask, what is the best? I swear I'm going to get off, guys. I'm sorry. A lot of people will ask, oh, I'm, carnivore. What's the best thing to moisten my skin with? Skin moisturizers. And my response has always been find a tallow lotion, find, some kind of tallow. Like coconut oil is great and all, but when you're carnivore, like a lot of people, when you're vegan, you want to go all vegan. When you're carnivore, sometimes you want to go all carnivore. And we have our reasons, and some of them are very good reasons. So someone, Danielle, pointed out a company called Perma Earth Products. I looked at their website and it looks fantastic. I am super excited. So I actually texted Nisha and I was like, oh, go look at this and then tell people about this because everyone's asking for tallow products. So no more bromide poisoning. Perma Earth, it's perma-earth.com. So feed your hair and skin from the outside in. Local and handmade, grass-fed, pasture-raised, certified organic, and certified fair trade. So then you click on their menu and they have hair care, moisturizer, tallow soaps, deodorants, bath, and body. So I just went to moisturizers because I wanted to find out about it. And it keeps trying to give me free soap. So they have pages of this stuff. Frankincense and MG12. I don't know what MG12 is. Farm Fresh milk and lard lotion. And then there is grapefruit and rose, which is a milk lotion and magnesium. Milk lotion and magnesium, juicy grapefruit, lavender dreams, vanilla sugar. Guys, like this looks incredible. Aloe vera, whipped tallow body butter. Yeah, I like it. So go take a look at them. I just found out about them. Daniel, thank you for pointing that out to me. They look absolutely fantastic. So anyone who's looking for any tallow or milk lotion or shampoo or conditioner or body wash, go check out permaearth.com. Perma dash, not slash, not underscore, but right in the middle, like a minus sign. Permaearth.com. Fantastic. Super excited. I'm going to go look, and one of these days I will buy something when I have the money to do that. So I'm going to get off now because I've been on here forever. I'm going to go finish eating probably another burger because the burgers were so good. But I wanted to hop on and talk to you guys. So thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to have seen you guys. And I will see you on the way. Bye, guys.